Hello everybody, this is Dove218, Paranormal Video Gamer, and this is my second review. A year ago I reviewed the HD PVR2. This is the continuation of what happened a year later. So, a year ago I bought the HD PVR2 from a good friend of mine. Well, I didn't buy it from him, but I bought the PVR2 online and was told by many people to get the Elgato 60 frames per second model. Again, I don't know what model number it is. I really haven't looked. But a year ago, I bought the HD PVR2, and here are my thoughts after having this for a year. And what you're watching is Mortal Kombat that came out a couple years ago. This is not Mortal Kombat X, this is just regular Mortal Kombat. And this is actually recording at 1080p 60 frames per second. There is software that you download that will allow you to actually do that with the PVR. Even if you have the 30 frames per second PVR like I have. Originally it was only supposed to go 30 frames per second, but now because of the recent upgrade, it is handling at 60 frames per second, and I am extremely excited for that, and extremely happy that when you download the software, they upgraded that particular frame rate issue. So let me talk about the pros of why a year later I love my device. The first pro is that it's extremely lightweight. This thing, I would say barely, is probably about a half a pound, maybe not even that. I mean, it is relatively, very lightweight. The other thing that I really loved, it's portable. I could take it wherever I want. I could put it in a small bag, and the cords and all that stuff that I need, the HDMI cords, I can just wrap them up. The power cord is, very, very convenient to have, and I love that. I love that it's portable, and I love it's lightweight. And, it's one of the coolest things in the world when you can go over with your laptop or, your desktop computer and take it over to a friend's house, and you can record, and it takes maybe 7 minutes to set up total. It is relatively nothing to set up and get it ready and start gaming with your friends and having a great time, which I've done a couple times on my channel. The other thing that I was writing as a pro for this device was definitely the button on front. I can't tell you how many times I was in the middle of a fight on Call of Duty, or I was in a fight online with Twisted Metal, or even several other games where, at that moment I was in the middle of a fight and I wanted to record it because it had gotten really good. And I hit the button on front, and it's a lot quicker than, since the recent software update, I'm looking at probably about 5 seconds and it's recording. So I am extremely happy about that too, because before it took about 10 to 15 seconds to start recording, and it's cut down significantly. So I could say without hesitation that it is a lot quicker than it used to be. The other pro about it is definitely the LED light on the front. It's extremely bright. Mine glows green when it's recording, and it's extremely bright, so I know exactly that it's recording. I know it's working, and after a year of seeing that beautiful light, I gotta say it is probably one of the coolest things about the device. I've literally been playing Resident Evil or Dead Space, and I'm in a dark room. I like playing like some of the survival horror games in a dark room. I think that kind of adds to the experience. And I can't tell you how many times that light, it literally almost fills up, half of the side of the room because it's so bright. And the thing about the LED light, there has been no burnout. It has not shut off for any other reason. The only time it'll shut off is when I actually shut it off. When I press the button on the front of the device, or I should say on the top of the device, it it remains and it records the whole time, and it's bright the whole time, and I love that feature. Um, Again, before the software upgrade that they recently did, it was only recording at 720, 60 frames per second. Now, when they updated, I don't know what they did, but for mine, it's actually recording at 1080p, 60 frames per second. And I can't tell you how awesome that is, because with me, I just thought that that was the coolest thing in the world, that it's actually recording at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So that, to me, that's definitely a bonus. The software, the skip back feature. This is probably the coolest thing that they've introduced with the skip back feature. Essentially, it allows you to record and go back and check out previously stuff that you've recorded. So it records it for you, and then that way you can skip backwards and decide what particular stuff that you want. Now, I haven't used this feature all too much. I did use it the one day. I thought it was just a brilliant idea. To be able to record something, 60 seconds or 2 minutes back. I got the one thing that I was impressed with. The one day it recorded almost 3 minutes of gameplay that I thought initially I had lost, and I was very happy about that. It didn't take really too much extra in terms of memory, so that was kind of a cool little feature that I thought was kind of cool. The sound quality is phenomenal. This is definitely Dolby Digital type sound. I put it up to my sound bar, which is a Dolby Digital sound bar on my TV, and the TV sound is fantastic, and the recording audio. I've only had one problem, and that was my fault. I want to make that perfectly clear. It was my fault. When I set my audio settings, I didn't realize that there was a setting in there for me to change with the PS3 settings, and I didn't realize that. So, other than that one little tiny hiccup, again, it was my fault. The sound is freaking amazing. It is truly, truly great on all fronts. So 5 out of 5 on that. The Steam function, which is called Easy Stream. It is awesome. It is fast. It is easy to set up. It's probably the easiest thing that I can think of to setting up your streaming services. So Twitch, YouTube, I can't remember the other one that's on there. But I mean, it's extremely easy to set up. I was blown away by how quick it was. Within 60 seconds of setting up everything and getting all the settings right, I was streaming live, and there were no hiccups. My internet quality is not the best, so that's the only thing with me, is that, I'm only able to do like 480p. It's just because my internet currently is like really slow. I don't know why it's been slow, but I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, in terms of speed and reliability, and getting the picture onto YouTube. I've used it many, many times for YouTube. I've had no hiccups. I've done it once with Twitch. With Twitch, it's a little different in terms of the gameplay. I didn't realize that when I was doing it with Twitch, there was other settings and stuff that I had to play around with in order to get it to run a lot smoother. But I will say that with YouTube, it is a lot easier to use. The software is a lot easier to use. And I was very, very happy with this purchase. I'm still very happy with it a year later. This is definitely a 5 out of 5. Now, I gave the software last year a 4 out of 5. But now, since they've upgraded it and they've done some changes, they made some improvements to the software, I'm going to say that the software is now 5 out of 5. The software is much easier to use. The extra and advanced settings are much easier to use than they were previously a year ago. And I hope that they continue to improve on the software aspect, because the software is, so far, it's running good. It feels like good software. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's, like the Elgato software. With the Elgato software, I was disappointed, just because of the fact that there was a lot of limitations. Oh my God, I couldn't believe how many limitations I had with doing 60 frames per second, even on 720. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love this device. So if you watch this review, thank you for watching. And go do yourself a favor, pick up one of these devices. You will not be sorry. You will be in heaven like I am. And I want to thank the guys at Hapa who made this kick-ass device. And again, thank you guys for watching. I'm Dove218, Paranormal Video Gamer. And hopefully this gave you a little bit of helping hand.